Bookworms, welcome to the Weekend Readers Book Club. Thank you for joining us. In this episode, we are discussing the novel entitled Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. Now, Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke came on my radar as I googled Best Alien Invasion Book, because I wanted to read about an alien invasion. And this is one of the options that Google spat out to me, got it through my local library. And Childhood's End is a book where aliens come to Earth, aliens then interact with humans, and we see the outcome of a alien and human civilization. That's the gist of the book. Now, I have read and finished Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke, and this is my review and, discussion points on the book itself. The book split into 3 parts, which I found really interesting, but it adds layers on layers on the story, and it allows each part to be its separate, mini-story. Part 1's really well done. Aliens arrive, and it explains and goes through humans' interactions with the aliens. However, the aliens put a caveat on there where they're not actually going to show themselves to humans for 50 years. So that means that the current generation will die off, and your children's children, they will live in a world where aliens are above them because they're over every major city. And when it comes time to show themselves, which they're going to do in 50 years' time, the humanity or human race will have a better understanding and be better equipped to deal with the fact that, aliens have now shown themselves. Part 2 of the book is surrounding the aliens actually showing themselves. So we fast forward 50 years in the future, aliens are here, and we see the interactions between humanity and humans. We see the interactions between humanity and aliens, and we also see, through part 1 and part 2, how the world has transitioned for the better. Just to have these aliens hovering above us and now with us, humanity has become a lot more mature, grown up, and we have stopped things like wars, famine, hate. Just everything is like a utopia. Part 3 of the book is unique because it ties directly into part 2, but I won't give away any spoilers. However, part 3 is the ending, and holy crap, this ending was wild. The ending was sad. The ending was just like, I didn't expect the ending to go the way it did. I will say this, I like the concept of the transition from part 2 to part 3 on what happens, especially with the children on Earth. I like the transition of, not transition, I like the story told of theoretically the last human on Earth. And yeah, it was surprising to find out what these aliens are about and what they came here for. And the ending was something. I didn't foresee the ending to go the way it did, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Childhood's End overall was well written, but it's probably the wrong word. It was well received by my brain and my emotions. I really enjoyed it. Part 1, part 2, the first half of part 2 were really good. The end of part 2 was a bit low. However, I think, because of what happens in part 3, the end of part 2 is sort of building towards the ending. So that got a bit meh. But the ending, I enjoyed. The ending makes you think. Now, with that being said, as I've read Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke, the question will be, will this book be going onto my bookshelf? It's a library book, so that will mean that I have to go out and buy it. The answer is no. I really enjoyed this book. However, I feel like this book is a one and done. I've read it. I'm happy I read it. but I probably wouldn't go out and reread it again because I know what goes on, and yes, I got enjoyment out of it the first time reading it, and it was engrossing, and I was able to go through and just enjoy page by page the story. I think knowing what I know now, if I was to go back and read it, it may just be I'm now waiting and anticipating for the cool parts, which will then just spoil the reread. So, Childhood's End, Arthur C. Clarke, while you are an amazing book, you have it made my bookshelf. So, as it customs here at the Weekend Readers Book Club, as one book closes, another book has to open, and it is now time to find out what the next read is. And Bookworms, we can confirm the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. I don't know anything about this book. Somebody at work said, hey, give it a whirl. And I told my book guy Brian that I potentially got this book, and his exact words were good luck. So, Clockwork Orange, I know it's a classic, so give it a whirl and see how we get on with that. Clockwork Orange, Anthony Burgess, you are the next read for the Weekend Readers. So, Bookworms, that was my review and discussion of Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. As I said, a book I really enjoyed. I like the concept of aliens coming to Earth. I like the concept of humanity being scared, but humanity not being able to do anything because the aliens are above us, but they're not showing themselves for 50 years, so we just got to live with them above us. That's quite a cool concept. I enjoyed the ending, too, of this book. The ending was pretty wild, as I said. But yeah, that was my discussion. Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. Come back next episode. As I said, we are going to be discussing A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. So, Bookworms, thank you for joining us. And until next time, happy reading.